Hello everybody, my name's Rory and welcome back to Firebeard Outdoors. It's been a while since I've recorded a video, especially one where I've actually spoken in it. Yeah, it's January the 4th of 2026 and it is currently 1 degree Celsius. I believe it's meant to be getting down to as low as -2 tonight. But I'm going to be camping in the woods, getting a fire going, cooking some good venison stew, and just enjoying myself. Happy New Year, and yeah, here's to a good one. So tonight I'm going to be starting a fire with a flint and steel. I don't have flint, but I've just found a piece out in the woods just on the track. This is going to come in real handy for me starting a fire tonight. So even though it is 1 degree Celsius or getting to freezing, I'm exerting myself quite a lot in a minute. Now I've undone all the vents in my clothing and my trousers, but I'm still sweating quite a lot. And sweat in cold weather can be a killer. So the more you sweat while you're exerting yourself, you're going to be, working hard, building up that sweat, and it's going to start making your body and clothes wet. As soon as you stop and it starts getting colder, as soon as you stop working out or stop activity, that dampness, that moisture will start to get colder, and that is a cause of hypothermia, and that can cause you a lot of problems. So I'm going to be taking this layer off until I get back to camp, and then I can put it back on. As you can see, I'm not wearing much in the way of layers. I've got a small, thin merino wool base layer. Merino wool is excellent for this kind of activity. The reason it is because the natural fibres of the wool, there's natural oils in it, it makes it breathable. It also dries fast and also doesn't hold any smells. It doesn't hold any bacteria for smells to brew up. So you can wear something like this for days, if not weeks, and it won't smell any different. I'm also wearing thick wool, quilted wool trousers. These are Swedish made, excellent trousers for cold weather. Again, with vents for aeration and breathability. But yeah, as well, like I'm wearing a hat here with a mesh back to it. That means it's breathable. I am getting a bit of a sweat on my head, although that is fine. I can dry that off. When I get back to camp, I'll get warmed by the fire. Now, while there isn't that much in the way of edible foraging going on at this time of year, there are some bits about here that you can eat. Here I've got some gorse the yellow petals, very tasty. They have a lovely crisp texture. They can be a bit bitter at times, but these ones are quite sweet. Tastes good. So I've arrived to camp a bit later than I actually intended to. Obviously it's now dark, so I'm going to try and film as best I can. However, plans might have changed a little. I'm going to get my shelter up now straight away, then I'll get a fire going. Now that I'm back to camp and I've stopped exerting myself, I've started to lose heat, so I'm starting to get cold. Now it's time to put a warmer layer on. The best system for when you're out doing stuff like this is to do a layering system. Have a base layer, sometimes you might want a middle layer. I've got like a decent fleece hoodie. I've also got a waterproof jacket if that's better for when it's raining or if windy. That sort of soft shell, that harder shell of the waterproof helps deflect wind, keep you warmer. I've also got some mid layers as well, like a gilet and another fleece as well that will go underneath my other fleece. But for now, because I'm going to be moving about still, I'm only going to put on one layer and I'll add layers as and when I need and take them off as and when I need. Okay, so now I'm going to get my hammock set up. So what I've got here is the Helikon-Tex Swagman roll, which is a multi-use piece of kit. It can be worn as like a big poncho. It can also be used as an underquilt for a hammock, which is what I'm going to be using it for tonight. So here it is in its sort of poncho form, very warm on a cold night, but yes, it's going to be used under here tonight. It's going to keep me warm. Instead of using a roll mat or an air mat, this will keep me warm instead. Okay, so this is my hammock with the Swagman under blanket setup. That's going to keep me nice and warm and insulated above the ground. And now I'm going to use my winter sleeping bag. Right, so here we have my sleeping setup for the night. Hammock with the Swagman roll underquilt with a winter season sleeping bag. Now, it's not actually forecast to rain or snow in any way. It's a very lovely clear night, so I'm not even going to bother with a shelter, with a tarp or anything. I'm just going to freeball it under the sky. Okay, so now it's time to get a fire going. I've got all my hammock and sleeps and stuff set up. It's getting cold now. Let's get a fire going. Dry. That's all good stuff here. So stuff I'm looking for is stuff that isn't covered in snow, stuff that is dry, quick snapping. All this stuff will be great for getting a fire started. But yes, so here I am just gathering little bits of twigs and stuff that will help me get the fire started. There's some bigger bits back there that I'm going to work my way towards. It's best to try and keep this stuff as dry as possible. Like, try and avoid dumping it on the ground where it is wet. Okay, so now it's time for me to get my fire started. First part, I'm going to clear a load of this leaves so it's bare down to the mud, and then I'm going to stick a platform of some dry, thickish branches beneath where I'm going to start my fire to act as a base that's going to keep the fire off the ground for a bit, and it's going to allow the embers to all collect, and it's going to get the fire to maintain easier. So here we go. I'm clearing quite a big area because this fire might get bigger. Obviously, I don't want anything to catch fire, even in this cold weather. Things are dangerous. But yeah, I'm just going to start by making a platform like so. Doesn't need to be anything ridiculous, just that'll do to start with. Base is formed. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab 2 handfuls of thin finished twigs, and I'm going to place them in like a triangular shape here. Basically, that's going to give me a place to place my tinder once I've started lighting it. Then eventually I can move this up, twist it round, and put it on top of the kindling, on top of the tinder, so this kindling will enable the fire to grow. Okay, so I'm pretty much ready to get my fire started now. I've got my fire set up here, and what I'm using today to start my fire is a steel and flint. Obviously this is one of the most ancient techniques for starting a fire, and I've got in my tinder bag here, so if you can see what we've got going on. So here is the steel. Here I have some char cloth. The only thing I am missing from my kit here to get a fire started is the flint. And just down here is a tree stump, and as you can see around the base of it, there's loads of little bits of flint. This is always a really good place to find flint, at the base of a tree stump or of a base of a fallen tree where all the ground's been uprooted. That is an excellent place to find flint. You'll always find it there. But yeah, I've got bits all over the place here, so these will help me get my fire started. And now I'll show you how. This is how a flint and steel works. I've got a steel here, piece of flint here, and you're looking for a sharp edge on the flint to strike against. And what you're doing is you're scraping bits of steel upwards, and that's creating the spark. It's creating a bit of temperature, and as you can see, the sparks are coming up like so. Now, to add to the mix, I'm going to add a piece of char cloth, which I'm going to rest just above it, and when I strike, the upward spark will ignite the char cloth. Before I start, what I'm going to need to accept my char cloth is some tinder, so essentially what's called a bird's nest. This is just dried grass and brush that I picked up along the way. I've stuck it in my pocket and I kept it close to my body so that all the moisture in it is gone. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to rough it up a little so that all the fibres get nice and small, and so the fire has somewhere to catch. So basically, when I strike my char cloth, once it's ignited, it's going to go into there. I'm going to blow on it, and then we'll close it up like that, and then we'll have our fire starter. Right, so here we go. Char cloth, just get a little bit of it, put it on the edge, close to where you're going to strike. Get your steel. And there you have it, instantly. Unfortunately I missed that one, so it's time to try again. Okay, so attempt number 2, hopefully this one will stick. Okay, so finally the fire is lit. It's just getting established at the minute. While it's doing that, I'm going to start prepping my food. Tonight I'm having a venison stew, which is going to be really warming, and I can't wait. So here I've got a venison rump. Or chump. Obviously the whole thing is a bit large, so I might just cook some over the fire as is. Seeing as the whole lot, it might be too big for my stewing pot. Yeah, so this I'm just gonna dice. A good butcher's knife would do this better. Not my finest butchery, but hey, I'm not selling this, I'm just eating it myself. So that's about as much as I can get in my pot. The rest is going to be, I'll cook roast over the fire. I'll just skewer it and cook it as a piece of meat. The old-fashioned, simple way. Or maybe kebab, maybe skewer it. In fact, that is what I'm going to do. Okay, so there's my pot. That's got all my vegetables and my meat in it. I'm just going to add some stock cube, some seasoning, and then water to top it all up. I've also got some chili flakes just to spice it up a little. Right, now for the water. So lid on, and now it's ready for the fire. So I've got the remaining venison just on a stick here. This is the most basic thing ever. I've not even seasoned it, it's going to be as it is. And I'm going to cook it like a marshmallow. Just a meaty one. So while that's cooking, I'm just going to have some bread and goat's cheese. for a starter. Just nice sourdough bread here. Looking good for sure. Just go with a bit of a stick. I think we're going to be pretty much ready to go. Right, so here's the venison stew. Can't wait for it. I forgot a spoon or a spork, so I'm just improvising and using a little branch that I used to cook some venison on earlier. But hey, not in the mood for whittling out a spoon, so I'm just gonna spike and hope for the best. There we go. Oh, that's so good. I added some chili flakes into the stew. Certainly got a kick to it. Certainly warms you up in the cold nights like this. As does the stock and the gravy. Ideal sort of meal for cold weather. Easier said than done. Right, so it's time for me to hit the hay. I've had a very nice evening. It's cold, but I'm very comfortable with the clothes that I'm wearing. But yeah, it's now time to get into my sleeping bag, and I'll see you guys all in the morning. Yeah, so we'll see how it goes. I've never done this before, this cold with no shelter. I don't think it will make much of a difference. There's a bit of moisture forming on the outside of the bag and the Swagman, but I think that'll be all right. I think that would make no difference if I had a tarp up or not, but I'm just gonna roll with it. I've got plenty of layers, plenty of warm gear, so I should be grand. See you in the morning. Good morning. It's a very lovely, fresh morning.
I think it's only sort of -2, or that's as low as it got last night. But I was snug as anything. I've had one of the best sleeps you can imagine. Fully enclosed in here, it's like a cocoon of warmth. And yeah, I had a very enjoyable night. However, I did get awoken at about 4 AM by a spot of rain. Felt it on my face. So I did have to put up my tarp. That was no problem. That was up in 2 minutes, and I was back in bed. And by the time I put it all up, the rain had stopped. But hey. But yeah, a lovely night. Time to get up and get going.
Right, so that's me all packed up, ready to go. Very enjoyable night, very chilled. Had a great time. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. I honestly think I might have found the coolest stick I've ever found. It's like a musket with a bayonet fixed. Yeah. It's a cool stick, eh?